Okay, this looks pretty good, all grinded and fits in perfectly. So now I'm just going to wipe the excess dust off from the grinder, and I'm going to choose some Inka gold colours to paint the back because it is transparent, so I want to try and bring the glass to life. I just really like the texture. I'm applying the Inka gold to the underside of the glass. Inka gold is fade resistant, but it is not suitable to put on before you grind. You need to do it after you do all your grinding. Right, so these look good. Right. Very important that you put the lid back on when you finish getting a little bit of Inka gold out, as the air can contaminate it, and do not use your fingers. I usually just use like a makeup sponge. Take a little bit out, put the lid back on, and paint on the side. So you want to, it's basically a very creamy consistency, which is quite nice to work with, kind of like a shoe polish. So just, I'm not putting a thick layer on, but I'm putting a generous amount on just to get into those little grooves on the glass. And see how it just makes such a huge difference, really brings the glass to life. It's beautiful. You can see the greens and that in there. So let that dry. It takes about maybe 15 minutes to dry. And I might also do a nice green one. So another makeup sponge. So I don't know if you can see that. They're quite stunning. So we'll let those dry and we'll paint a few more up and see how they come up. Right, I've just started layering these little petals for the feathers. So I've mixed up some of our Ultra Bond, which we've got, which is a 2-part adhesive. So you just mix this in with the colour of grout that you intend to grout your project with. That way it'll blend in nicely. So I've just mixed it up with my black grout to a nice thick consistency. I've let it set for 5 minutes and then I've just given it a re-stir. So now this has become my adhesive. The secret to doing the 3D work is to kind of just push it into the gaps as you go, because sometimes when you do go to grout the whole entire project, it can be quite tricky grouting up around here. So I try and push it in as I go and then just give it a little bit of a clean off using Q-tips. That way it just makes it easier. So I'm only going to sort of do down to here, the rest I can grout quite easily. Right, so let's start layering. So I've got a few little petals that I've just grinded. So the secret is to try and be very, very tidy and not have it all oozing up between each one. So So just kind of move it a little bit flat around the ends and a little bit higher at the back so that can support your feather. Right, so just push that down. Push it down gently, don't push it all the way down so it squeezes out the adhesive. You want that to be like a little bed for it to sit in, so just sort of gently nudge it in, and then I'm just going to tidy up this a wee bit here. I'm going to put a little bit of the adhesive grout in here, that way it'll just save me trying to grout in that gap. Just going to flatten it down. Yeah. So it might take a little bit of time doing this, but it's well worth it and just saves a lot of that cleaning off at the end when you finish your overall grouting. And we're just going to continue on layering these ones. Carry on. Okay, just working on the eye now. What I've used, all my projects done with stained glass. It's just a medium I choose to use because it's cuts lovely, flat both sides, can be suitable for inside and outside. It doesn't fade, and it's just beautiful, and you can get really fine detail work. I'm using these 10mm stained glass squares, and the reason why I like to use the stained glass is being flat both sides, you can work with really small detail pieces opposed to glass tiles that have a ridge on the bottom. They're not actually, if you look at the underside, they're not actually the same size on the bottom as the top. So when you cut those really small, they can sometimes wobble around. So these ones are flat base, cutting them small. This one I've cut into half and half again, and then diagonally, so I get these really tiny little pieces. I'm also using some tweezers. I've just gone and outlined the eye, and now I'm just filling in with the smaller pieces, and that's going to be the eye of the parrot. So he's coming together slowly. Okay, the eye's all done. So very small pieces, looks very good though. So now I'm going to start on the beak and the little bottom part here. I've cut out a template. You might notice I've got some darker pen marks just so it's easier to draw the pattern on. So I've used tracing paper. I've outlined it, cut it out. Also I have the bottom piece as well, so it just makes it easier to cut the glass that I'm going to use because the glass is opaque. I have actually done two beaks that I'm not happy with already, so I do have this one I thought about using. I quite like the texture of it, and I was going to put some inka gold on the back. I started using the platinum inka gold, but I found it really brought out the gold in the glass, so I just sort of feel that might not be quite the right one. I then did this glass I thought was really nice, had a little bit of texture on it, but I feel it's too white. So I am looking at this piece, but only there. So I can use this for my template now. I'm going to try and just get out the part that's got the most white, because this is too stark, I think, for the parrot, because his beak is kind of slightly sort of a chalky greyish colour. So I'm liking this piece here if I can kind of just get without the brown on it. So unfortunately I'm going to have to cut into my sheet of glass there. Okay, so now we're going to cut the glass. So I am just going to get rid of the other end just in case I have a bad cut. I don't want it to shoot across there. So we can get rid of this piece at the top. And then we've got a nice smaller piece, and I think I'll cut that down again so I can have this for something else. So now I'm going to cut out his beak. So nice even pressure. Sometimes the glass has little divots in it, so you just have to go a little bit slower. Nice and slow, and then I'm going to stop about here. Running pliers. Now because it's got quite a bit of a sharp curve, sometimes you might not get a nice even cut, so I'm actually going to cut it straight here. Glass has a stress point, so if you try and cut out like a circle, you go to snap it, more than likely it's going to shoot across there. So we're going to eliminate that and just give it a stress relief. So we're going to cut that way, and then we should get a nice even snap. And then I can continue on here, and I can tidy up these little bits on the grinder. Right, I'm just going to get my round wheel cutters. Okay, all right, let's just tidy this up. So I've got these on a bit of an angle, so it really just works as sort of a grinding tool. If you don't have a grinder, this works just as good. That's why I like using the stained glass. It just always cuts and just grinds beautifully. And once it's grouted, you're not going to notice those baggy pieces, so it's actually quite a nice, just working your tool. Take that pen off, you won't even know that it's been nibbled. Right, so we'll pop over and see if this is going to fit. Pretty good. Now I have also done the same for down here. I've used a bit of black textured glass, so I've cut that into go there, and I think that's probably a nice contrast, much better than the stark white and that one there. Right, so we'll continue on cutting out the little red circles. We'll glue this down soon, but what I've done with this one is I've used bits of stained glass, and I've just cut them down to workable size, and now I'm going to go smaller again. Just getting some really tiny, just rough squares, and I'm going to shape them. I don't want perfect circles, I just want them to be a little bit nibbled looking, so it gives it more of a feathery look. So all I'm doing is, if you have a container handy with lots of little bits, just catches all your little shards. So I'm just going to slowly just take off those little points. So make sure you've got your safety glasses on, just for any stray bits of glass that might fly back up. So that's the sort of look I want. I don't want a perfect round shape. So we'll continue on, we'll probably do a couple hundred of those to fill in here. Okay, I'm going to start to grout the parrot's head today. I know he's upside down, but hard to see. But what I want to do is I'm going to grout this top part here in a light grey grout, which I've mixed up here. And then what I'm going to try and do, a little bit of an experiment, is I'm going to get some Inka Gold, which is actually on my hand. I've just been testing it out. So this is Inka Gold. I use it to, I use it in a lot of things, to paint on the back of clear glass. I also use it as like a wash over grouts if I want to achieve a nice colour. But I want to try and have this part more of a reddy colour. The rest of the bird, I'm not going to grout the feathers, obviously, because they're already embedded with cement, so they don't need to be grouted. Down here where it's flat will be grouted black, and I'm still working on the forever going background. So what I'm going to do now is just grout this in a light grey all over, and then I will tune in soon and I will give the Inka Gold wash a go. So we'll get started and we'll get that. Right, so I'm actually just using my finger just to slowly push it into these little gaps near the wings. I didn't really want to do that, but I don't really want to get the grout, the grey grout, anywhere near the feathers. So just if you just do a little bit at a time. Q-tips are also quite handy. Hold on a minute. Quite handy just to also push into the little gaps. So just doing a little bit at a time. Right, we'll let that sit for a couple of minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll just dry it off and see how it comes up, and then we'll start doing our Inka Wash Gold on the red part. I have used this many a times doing the Inka Wash over grout. However, I have only used it on interior projects, so I can't vouch for how it would go being in grout for outside. I know it's fantastic to paint underneath glass and it does not fade outside, but having it soaked into the grout, yeah, experiment whether you just seal the grout after. I don't know if it will bleed out if it's going to have rain on it, but as I said, it's interior. I've used it a lot for interior projects. It's fantastic. So yeah, I guess guinea pig to try, but look, it's great stuff. I love it. You can always get grout tints, but I just find I like to kind of yeah, use what I've got and experiment. Right, we'll let this dry and we'll give it a... Okay, we've got our nice cleaned off surface now, so I'm going to leave this light grey. I've got a little bit of my Inka Gold in here, so I'm going to get a little bit of water in my paintbrush, and I'm just going to slowly dab it into the grout, just very, very gently. So I'll start back here and we'll see what we kind of get, what look we're going to get. So let that soak in, and then we'll be able to wipe it off slowly with a dry cloth. So the grout is actually still wet, so I'm just sort of, by having it a little bit wet, it's still porous, so it can just take in that nice grout, and hopefully we get a nice sort of a reddish colour. A little more in there, and obviously around by the eye I'm going to be very, very, very gently. I don't want to have it bleeding into the grey, because I'm going to keep the light grey around his eye, that colour. Right, it's all soaked in, so we're just going to leave it for a couple of minutes. Once it sort of semi-dries, the idea is we'll just wipe it off very gently with a dry cloth, and hopefully it should be staying soaked into the grout, and we'll carry on with the background. Just taking ages.